Hello everyone, it's Duck7. Today we are playing Dimir Soul Trader with new Upcurrent Oculus. This card has been so good to me that I actually trophied with almost every league I played with Oculus since the Dusk Moon release. It's that good. It's literally, I didn't play much, I played like 6 leagues total and 5 leagues total, and I trophied 4 of them, so it was really amazing run. So first I brewed the version of Dimir Frogtides, playing 4 Oculus, splashing 4 Oculus, 4 Unearthed, immediately got a trophy first try. So then brewed a similar version of a deck, but not playing Murktide, but instead Nethergoyf and Thoughtseize instead of counterspells and Murktides and spell snares, and got the trophy first try. Then I played the Sultai Crabwine again deck. This time not Dimir but Sultai deck, playing again Frog, Oculus plus Unearthed, and then again trophied immediately first try. And then I played Dimir Soul Trader and went 9-1. So that was the only one match I lost, and that was basically the only loss with the Oculus deck I played. I played with a bunch of other decks. I tried to mono-red Hollowine, stuff like that. Had various other decks, but that did not find near close any success like with Oculus decks in the last week or two. So I focused on those, and still working on other stuff, of course, but really excited about all the Oculus bits built. This package of Frog, Oculus plus Unearthed has been overperforming in the last since the Dusk Moon release, and it's really amazing. And this is the archetype where it fits so well. It already wants to play Unearthed and Nightmare because of the Warren Soul Trader and Apprentice. So many good targets for them. Apprentice is great with it, and I prioritized playing a Fatal Push and Flare of Malice, so 8 removal instead of playing a Bowmaster. I don't think it's necessary to play Bowmaster because this deck already plays well against the One Ring, because Apprentice kills opponent through the One Ring protection. So when they tap out, this deck is very aggressive, it can kill very fast, and it got a lot of graveyard interaction and cheap graveyard interaction. This means if opponent spends turn to cast a ring for 4 mana, then most probably you'll be able to do something very strong on the following turn and try to do the kill immediately, or just develop board as much as possible. So I've been having a good success playing against One Ring. I don't think the Bowmaster is necessary. It already Apprentice and Oculus and Soul Trader combo is already good against the ring. So Oculus is very good. It's just putting Oculus on the field makes it very hard for them to deal with everything you have until the next turn, especially if they don't have something like Supreme Verdict. So I've been very happy, and you can use Flare of Malice in this deck, which is another great card to use right now. If deck can use it well, then it can be really strong, and the Fatal Pushes are great as well. So a lot of people asking, is 4 Cetonia Nightmares too much? It's definitely not. Cetonia Nightmare is great in this deck. It's just super good. So many good targets. I have Apprentice, I have Frog, I have Oculus, a Soul Trader, and you can use a Frog to discard some of these cards and then grow Frog and then bring them back with Cetonia Nightmare. Cetonia Nightmare is always good, and a lot of decks playing counter spells, spell snares, and force of negations, and you will need multiples of this card. You will want multiples, and also you can always discard it to Frogs, so it's never completely useless. And yeah, I really like having the 4 off. But the most common thing you do post sideboard is trim 1 Earth, trim 1 Nightmare. So you always expect some graveyard hate, and you have to trim some of these graveyard related stuff in the post-board games to not be hit by graveyard hate as much. Okay, so in the sideboard I got 2 Consigned to Memories plus Fulminator Mages. This is a package to hate on the Eldrazi decks mostly, and stuff like Amulet Titan, whatever. Also Consign is good against the One Ring. And the Meat Hook Massacre. So this card is really sweet in this deck, and why? It's not just that it's hate against Boros, energy decks and other creatures decks that play small creatures, but it's also a combo piece which is like a super interesting. This says whenever a creature you control dies, opponent loses 1 life. So if you have like Soul Trader and Gravecrawler, you can combo kill someone with that, which is amazing because it's also amazing sideboard piece against most played deck at the moment, the Boros Energy of course. So for 4 mana you can wipe their entire board. Mostly it's mostly doesn't hit your stuff except for Apprentice. So it's extremely good, and I really like it. I was even considering playing this in main. Yeah, if I would add 1 card to the main, I think that would be like a Massacre. And it's really solid card post board, and the fact that it's a combo piece, it's really amazing because it's such a strong sideboard card at the moment. Fulminator Mage, another strong card from the sideboard, and especially if you consider that this deck is playing 4 Unearth, 4 Cetonian Nightmare, you can just destroy the land dependent decks in post-board games with a single Fulminator, just bring them back repeatedly. Okay, so I also got a Cursed Marauder, and because we got so many recursive pieces in post-board games, a Cursed Marauder is works better than most other removals when you need it against large creatures. It's very good. And Phyrexian Revoker, it's also another piece I like to use against Eldrazi's to lock the One Ring. And it's been very efficient in doing so. And basically, it's mostly if they don't have Kozilek's command, then they're in big trouble. Against other decks, even if they kill a Revoker like Yawgmoth, you still have 4 Unearth, 4 Cetonian Nightmare in your deck to bring it back, and it's very hard to play around it. So you can very effectively lock those One Rings and the Yawgmoths with the Phyrexian Revoker, and it's definitely been a lot better than you would think. And I've been impressed with Revoker, especially against Eldrazi. It's been just a piece that works very well against their One Ring dependent hands. Okay, so that is it. Before we go to the gameplay, let's also just appreciate how pretty this deck looks, all like full arted like this. It's really beautiful. So before we go to the gameplay, let's also let me remind you about my Decktionary profile. This is a Patreon-like page, and I have new updates to my Decktionary. So today I completely updated my Mardu Energy sideboard guide, and it should be online very soon, if not already. So Domain Zoo sideboard guide I updated a few days ago, and now also Mardu Energy sideboard guide is fully updated with the fresh changes to the main board, to the sideboard, and completely reworked sideboard plan against all the common matchups in the metagame. And yeah, so now I'm starting work on one of the Oculus builds. It will probably be the Frogtide build from the last week I initially made, and then I'll consider the Soul Trader one and the Crabwine one. Also, if you're interested into guide tire or subscription on my Decktionary, that is where I keep tips and tricks article, which is 5,500 word article on my thoughts about energy and zoo, its matchups, and some useful information overall. I will also update this article and write new ones as I make new guides. For example, for the when I'll first make a standard guide for the Dimir Frogtide, and then after some time I will also write tips and tricks article on that too. So that's it. We can now go check out the gameplay. Okay, so As I said, I've been very successful with the Oculus decks, and not so successful with non-Oculus decks lately. So I was brewing a lot of different decks, and I still, for a lot of them, I still didn't find exactly the what I want. And but with the Oculus decks, whatever I make, and it just seems works great, and I've been very impressed with it. And this Psychic Frog um, Unearthed package with Oculus has been working so well. We can see here again I bring in the Oculus on turn 2, and that play is just ridiculously strong. So you can see me here bringing back the Soul Trader. I have Apprentice below this Oculus manifest card, and so I have Gravecrawler in the graveyard. So basically, I can now do the kill. I flip Apprentice for 2 mana. I play Gravecrawler. I play double Gravecrawler. So if they have something like Endurance, then they can't stop it. And because I can just continue using the second Gravecrawler after they remove this one. And yeah, here I assembled the combo, Apprentice, Soul Trader, Gravecrawler, and got the kill. My opponent also got the combo for infinite creatures. Sorry, not infinite creatures, but to make this guy very infinitely big. But yeah, I can kill them this turn, so it's game over. Okay, let's check out game 2 and sideboard plan against this deck that has seen some popularity lately in the MTGO leagues. Okay, again, I keep a hand with Stitcher Supplier, Soul Trader, and Flare of Malice. The Stitcher Supplier, obviously, it's great with Oculus. And with the Flare of Malice, I can play this on curve on turn 3, which is super sweet. We can see the sideboarding plan here is I trimmed one frog, one unearthed, one nightmare. As I said already, that these are the cards that I trim often. So one nightmare, one unearthed. I trim that very often in the post-board games, and they're still great to have multiple in the game once. But post-board, you're expecting more graveyard hate, and it will be difficult to use all of those. So I usually trim at least like one nightmare or one unearthed. Okay, as you can see here, I also trimmed one Gravecrawler, one frog to fit in the cards from the sideboard. And yeah, so my opponent was able to prevent me from playing this Oculus with their Agatha Soul Cauldron. But yeah, I have Soul Trader, I have Gravecrawler, and I'm very close to casting this Oculus from hand. So that is my current plan. Opponent finds Brute Scale with their Eldramis. Okay, so they remove another card from my graveyard. I cycle the unearthed. At this moment, I have 5 cards in the graveyard. So with the fetch, I'll probably be able to cast Oculus from my hand, which is my game plan at the moment. Opponent plays Ballista, plays Giver of Runes, and removes my Gravecrawler. But I find another one, and I can use this Gravecrawler just to gain a 6 card in a graveyard to play my Oculus. Oculus is way better at the moment than having a Gravecrawler against Agatha Soul Cauldron. So I was able to play my Oculus finally and continue attacking with Soul Trader. Okay, so Oculus is obviously a problem for them. So they had to do a lot of trouble here to get rid of this Oculus. And their Soul Cauldron was untapped, so I top deck a Cetonian Nightmare to again bring back the Oculus, and it's again lethal damage for them next turn, this Oculus, and they also don't know that I manifested another Oculus, which is just ridiculous. And opponent actually grows their Giver of Runes to 4 counters, but that's not enough, and yeah, they still die from the manifested Oculus. So that is a match against a Celestia Brute Scale combo. Okay, so let's check out match 2. Okay, before this, I tried Golgari Soul Trader combo. I just wanted to feel how they compare, and the Dimir version just seemed very much better. It just felt at the moment like a much better deck altogether. So here you can see opponent playing Eldrazi deck, Talisman on turn 2. I discard Oculus and sack Frog to bring back Oculus. Oculus is stronger than Frog. And I again manifest another Oculus. This is just super amazing when you're able to do this. Okay, so my opponent plays the Mika Spam, finds another land, ramps towards doing something nasty next turn maybe. Okay, so but I got two Oculuses here, and I had multiple options in this game. I decided to go for the Apprentice, go for the Nightmare. This turn attack with Oculus, bring back a Frog, and now next turn I have Lethal. I can flip this Oculus, and I can discard cards to Psychic Frog. If opponent doesn't do anything, they of course do something, and that is a kill of my Oculus. So I change my game plan here, but first I go for the Stitcher Supplier, I find a Gravecrawler with the Supplier, so I can mill 6, that is a lot of cards to try to dig for the Gravecrawler, and I find it, and I already have Marionette Apprentice on the field, so that is enough for the lethal. And yeah, I have the combo with Soul Trader, Apprentice, and Gravecrawler, so opponent concedes. That is game 1. Let's check out game 2. This combo has been super effective with the Stitcher Supplier, helping you find the pieces and have so many recursions from the graveyard that you can use while opponent is worrying about Oculus or Frog or whatever. Okay, so you can see me here graveyarding the Consign because I really wanted to find a third land. As you can see here, I have a combo in hand. I have Soul Trader, Apprentice, and Gravecrawler, so I really need a third land right now. Okay, so I go for the Apprentice. And next turn I can combo kill them because I have a servo token which I can sack with Soul Trader to get mana, but I need to find a land. Yeah, you can see here opponent going for the Miko Spawn again, finding Eldrazi Temple, playing Utopia Sprawl, passing the turn. Unfortunately, I don't find a third land, and I just pass on holding Consign to Memory. Consign to Memory here prevents them from playing anything strong, while I still have, if I draw a land at any point, I have a kill on my turn. Okay, so I'm just okay waiting here. Opponent only has 2 cards in their hand, and I have Consign, so holding Consign, try to counter something relevant. Okay, so here, yeah, opponent plays a Kozilek's Return. I'm okay with that. I don't mind. So I just used Spy Master Vault because I was bored. Didn't do any ability with it. The opponent plays Kozilek's Return. They would do that anyway, so I don't really mind them playing that. Okay, so my opponent plays the One Ring, and I let that resolve because I have the Phyrexian Revoker named One Ring, and I have another Revoker named Ring. And yeah, so here again holding the Consign on their turn, and I have the combo kill on my turn, and the Revoker is locking the One Ring. So if they try to kill something, that will probably be Revoker. And now I can also have a backup mana to hold a Consign. And here it is. So now I have backup mana for Consign, and I start doing the combo. In case opponent has Kozilek's command, I can counter it with Consign. So that is the clear kill. And the match against Eldrazi. Okay, so let's check out match 3. Okay, so match 3, I have again combo in hand, plus a Stitcher Supplier. So in this situation, it's always better to play Stitcher Supplier, since you can always play Soul Trader later, sack Supplier for get the treasure token, then play the Gravecrawler from hand. So when opponent, an opponent knowing for less pieces you have, that's safer and better for you. So it's always better to try to hide that you have a Gravecrawler to combo off and to kind of try to surprise your opponent. Okay, so I go for the Swamp here in case my opponent plays Blood Moon or whatever. And yeah, I wanted to play the Apprentice, but I top deck Unearthed, so I go for a turn 2 Oculus. And plus Gravecrawler, this is just super nasty. Turn 2 Oculus is super hard to get rid of, but my opponent is actually playing Storm, so they don't really care that much about it. Yeah, I'm still good. I'm still good because I have a Soul Trader and I have Marionette Apprentice in hand, and thanks to the Oculus, I have enough creatures to stack them to get enough treasures to play my Apprentice first. Okay, so I sack 2 creatures, play Apprentice, get the Servo, and now I just continue replaying Gravecrawler from the yard, and there it is, turn 3 kill. And I must say it's very consistent. I've been able to turn 3 kill more times than one, or threaten with a turn 3 kill, then opponent had some interaction, but the Storm doesn't really have interaction. So it's really amazing that I was actually faster to combo than the actual Storm. Yeah, that's really good. And yeah, got the combo win here. And the combo is very effective. All the pieces are good. The Soul Trader is good on its own. Apprentice as well. Often you can kill with Apprentice and just like sacking creatures with Soul Trader. We will see that in trophy game. And yeah, okay, so let's check out game 2. Let's also check out the sideboarding plan in this one. So in this one, Nightmares went completely out and one Fatal Push. So to make space for the Nihil Spell Bombs and Consigns to memory, you may ask why Consign. Consign can not do much, but it can counter the Ruby Medallion, and it can also counter this triggered ability from the RAL, which can sometimes be borderline meaningful. But yeah, the fact is that other cards are worse, and that is the only reason why I play Consign, because other cards are worse and it can counter Ruby Medallion, it can sometimes counter the relevant RAL trigger ability. So that's basically it. It's not super good card. But I don't currently have better cards in the sideboard for this matchup. Okay, so it's not that common lately, so I removed Dumping Spheres from most of my sideboards. We can see here in match 3, in game 3, I boarding down to 5 cards and putting Oculus in the yard. As you can see here, one Oculus, one Frog is sided. All the Nightmares are too slow, of course, for the Storm, so there's no point. And my clock here was very good, and I had a Nihil Spell Bomb backup, plus a Fatal Push for the RAL. So even if they had the thing, I would probably be able to prevent it. And yeah, here it is, opponent going for the kill on turn 4, and I kill Ral in response, making it harder for them to do much. And they continue comboing off without Ral. They find a Ruby Medallion and Manamorphose, Reckless Impulse, but Reckless Impulse only finds 2 lands, not allowing them to continue comboing. So that was the win, and that was match against Storm. So let's check out match 4. Okay, so in the match 4, I really like when I'm starting with Stitcher Supplier, since I have 4 Nightmares and 4 Unearths in this deck, and there's always like a high chance to hitting, drawing them in at some point of the game. Okay, so we can see here, my opponent is playing mono blue, so I'm guessing it's the Charbelcher combo. I go for the Flare of Malice, kill their trainer, and connect with Psychic Frog, draw a card. I have Apprentice, I have a Soul Trader, and I have Greycrawler in the yard, but I can't combo this turn. My opponent uses the Subtlety on my Soul Trader, and I decide to put it back on top of the library. I think, yeah, that's best option. So trying to find a way to combo kill this turn, I go for Cytonian Nightmare, and then I discard a Soul Trader. I bring back Soul Trader with Unearth, then discard Marionette Apprentice. And yeah, maybe, I'm not sure if you realized that this we only had 3 mana, so it's not that easy to do the combo kill, and this was the only way to do it. So you had to play the Nightmare and then unearth, then discard Soul Trader, unearth the discarded Soul Trader, discard the Apprentice, then bring back the Apprentice. And yeah, that was the only way to combo off this turn, because we only had 3 mana and we're not able to play like both of these cards from the hand. So this was the only way, and I had Greycrawler in the yard, so now that Apprentice makes a servo, I can sack servo, start replaying the Greycrawler and combo kill them again on turn 4, even through the subtlety, and I still got the win on turn 4. So yeah, let's check out game 2. Yeah, this deck usually wins on turn 5, opponent's deck, or sometimes turn 4. And yeah, this deck is just a lot faster, really a lot faster. Again, we can see starting with Stitcher Supplier. And I go for a basic. I'm not sure if my opponent plays Harbinger, so I definitely want to get Swamp. And yeah, I can play Apprentice this turn. So when I play Apprentice this turn, I'm threatening to kill them next. Unfortunately, my opponent has a Spell Snare to deal with that. But it seems like they're stuck on lands. And I draw Unearth, and yeah. The Unearth means I can immediately go for the combo. I get mana with Phyrexian Tower, play the Soul Trader, try to combo kill them this turn, but opponent has Into the Flood Maw, bouncing my Soul Trader, prolonging my kill for the next turn. They still didn't see the Greycrawler, so they are not sure if I have the thing 100%. So my opponent plays Tameshi, replays their only land from hand, brings back the Lotus Bloom, and passes the turn. So they're hoping to maybe draw another land next turn and then combo off, and they have Subtlety for my Marionette Apprentice, but even through that I'm able to win, since I have the Supplier to mill over the Apprentice they put on top, and then I have Unearth to bring back the Apprentice and continue comboing off. So through spell snare, through bounce effect, through subtlety, 3 interaction pieces, I still got the turn 4 kill. So this deck is truly amazing. So it's just like 4 games in a row I killed the opponent on turn 4 with this super crazy loops. And it's also not that easy to play. You have to think about situations when to reveal combo pieces from hand, when to not reveal them, when to hold them until the last moment so opponent doesn't suspect you have the kill. And also Cetonian Nightmares Unearth help with you have enough mana to do all the combo like in the last game where I discarded both pieces on Frog and then reanimated both of those. So I guess my opponent wasn't definitely expecting I can combo kill them that game. So it's truly amazing combo, and how consistently it works, and just how easy it is to combo off, and how good all the pieces are on their own. So yeah, really impressed with this one. And that was match 1. So let's check out the last match of this league for the trophy. Let's see how that went. I played like all the tricky matchups, all the combo decks. But we had Eldrazi, the Brute Scale combo, the Mono Blue combo, and this deck was faster than all of them. Okay, so we can see here I have Stitcher Supplier, I have Apprentice, and Warren Soul Trader in hand, so I'm missing Gravecrawler at the moment. I don't have a combo, so that is why I decided to play the Frog first. Frog can deal, it's hard to kill, it deals damage, it draws me cards, and yeah. Okay, so I was expecting Jeskai Control, but instead I got Goblin Engineer here. Definitely, I did not expect that. I was hoping to find a third land here, unfortunately didn't happen, and I decided to just push this engineer here. I don't want to let them get their top tier foundry back. It's really dangerous to let them have that. So I get the third mana, play the Apprentice, and prepare for possible combo kill next turn if I can find the Gravecrawler. But yeah, I did not find I went for the Oculus, and Oculus put Gravecrawler in the yard. Opponent plays the One Ring, but yeah, as I said, One Ring doesn't really concern me. I have enough creatures, and as you can see here again, I have enough creatures. I can sack to the Soul Trader, and that's also another reason why the Oculus is a good play here, making this manifest tokens. Then manifest tokens provide you mana later in the game, so you can do stuff like this combo off with when you draw all the pieces. And I've been just really impressed with it. And a Marionette Apprentice works through the ring protection, and so it's really strong. And also in this situation, even without the Gravecrawler, in a lot of situations when you have like a double Apprentice, you can find a kill even without having a Gravecrawler to go infinite. Okay, so that was game 1. Let's check out game 2 and the sideboarding plan against a deck like this. So we can see here I trimmed 1 Oculus, 1 Unearth, 1 Nightmare, 1 Gravecrawler, 1 Frog. So I had a lot of pieces I wanted to bring in this matchup. I think consigns are pretty decent into this matchup, and also I wanted the Nihil Spell Bombs as well. Okay, so here, but yeah, the problem with this matchup is my opponent had so much graveyard hate pieces. It's incredible. It's like this game was like playing against not using a graveyard at all, because they had multiple lanterns, they had Tormod's Crypts, they had Goblin Engineers finding these pieces. It was very difficult to win in this match through the graveyard interaction. I did not see deck playing so much graveyard hate for some time. Okay, but here opponent, I'm in a decent situation. Unfortunately, my opponent has this big construct token and they have Shadow Spear on the field. This means they'll be able to equip it and attack me for a lot of damage. They didn't equip Shadow Spear this turn, so yeah, I'll be safe for another turn. And yeah, here I find Apprentice, so I play the Apprentice. I play the Apprentice, give Frog Flying, draw a card, and find another Gravecrawler. I do the Spymaster's Vault ability, I find another Gravecrawler, put Stitcher Supplier in my hand, replay one Gravecrawler from the graveyard. Okay, so also, as you notice here, I have Phyrexian Revokers. I brought them, yeah, this is the perfect deck to bring a Revoker in. You have so many targets like Lantern, like Tormod Script, like the One Ring, the Goblin Engineer, the Shadow Spear. All these hits are really, really good. Okay, so I have Flare of Malice. Unfortunately, it's not Fatal Push. In this situation, Fatal Push would be better, but I guess Flare of Malice is decent. And yeah, I go for the Flare of Malice, and as you can see, I made a lot of triggers for the Spy Master's Vault. I made play this intentionally like this. So I draw 4, discard 4, and I did not find any of the cards I really liked, so I decided to keep a Survey Land. And yeah, opponent has another Urza Saga. And yeah, unfortunately they find the Wandering here, which makes things difficult for me. I go down to 2 life, and I have Warren Soul Trader on top, but yeah, they have double Tormod Script, making it impossible for me to combo off, and I'm also so low on life. So there's nothing much I can do here. I can survive for another turn, killing this construct, but yeah, it's I concede next turn, and it's time for game 3, the final game of this league and the game for trophy. Okay, so I have to mulligan the one lander, keeping this decent 6. I go for Nihil Spellbomb on turn 1, and I'm happy to play the frog on turn 2 and see what happens. Okay, so I go for the frog. Opponent has Tamio. They decide not to attack here, since I can give frog, discard everything, give frog flying. An opponent didn't want to risk that. Okay, so I go with frog. Opponent is deciding whether to block or not to block with Tamio. They decide not to block here, and I go for the Marionette Apprentice, making a servo token and holding a consign to memory. And yeah, my opponent also has the Ghost Vacuum, and they have at least 2 Tormod Script. They have a Ghost Vacuum, they have Soul Guide Lantern, so that is a lot of graveyard hate pieces. And they also have the Goblin Engineer and the Urza Saga, so many tutors to find it. Okay, so I go for the attack here with Psychic Frog again. Opponent makes a construct and blocks the frog, so I decide to get rid of the Oculus in this situation. There is just so much graveyard hate on opponent's side that it's difficult to both reanimate it or remove or hard cast it. But it's possible to cast it from hand. It's just not possible to do it so early in the game. Okay, so as you can see here, yeah, I did a mistake here. The better play was to play the Apprentice first. Yeah, so I play the Apprentice, post combat, make another servo token, and yeah, so I missed a kill actually at this point. I had a kill here. I didn't actually miss it. I have it this entire time. I was just waiting. So as you know, whenever the Soul Trader sacrifices a creature, it also makes a treasure token. And sacrificing a treasure token also triggers a Marionette Apprentice. So I was just like, I had the kill whenever I want to kill. I was just waiting for my turn to attack them through combo damage, and then if they try to do something in response, I just kill them with Soul Trader abilities. They tap out to play the One Ring, and so they don't have any more interaction here available. So I can now just sack all the treasure tokens and all the creatures, and yeah, that is enough for the win. And yeah, so sometimes it's just super easy. So 2 apprentice and 1 soul trader, that's like a crazy amount of damage. So first servo is 2 damage, second servo another 2. These treasure tokens also make 4 damage, so that's already 8. And if you have any other creature, it can really go crazy and do a lot of damage, and it goes even through the ring protection, as you can see here. And that is the reason why I decided to play more removal in this build to be better against the aggro decks like energy decks and other aggro decks. I don't know, like Yagmoth. There are a lot of them. A lot of creatures currently in the format, dominating the format. So I think having 8 removal in the main is great, and the Bowmaster didn't feel necessary in this build because deck is already just very good against the ring decks. It has infinite, very aggressive early infinite combo that kills through the One Ring protection, and it just doesn't feel necessary. And when with Oculus Edition, which is another good card that plays well against the One Ring because it creates a tremendous amount of threats on the field that even with the ring card advantage it's hard to deal with, and it's just not that easy to deal with a 5/5 flyer, possibly manifesting another strong creatures into play, putting useful cards in the graveyard. So yeah, that's it. That is the entire league. Hope you like the league, hope you like the gameplay. Just a friendly reminder for the end to click like, click subscribe. Many of you don't subscribe. But yeah, here we are near another milestone, very close to 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thanks to everyone following. And yeah, so let me also know your comments down below. What do you think about this Oculus deck? I think Dimir Soul Trader is very impressive combo deck. It's been just super impressive in this entire league. The wins out of nowhere and the combinations that appear with the reanimate pieces. It's been like really good. And I really like how well Massacre plays in this deck as a combo piece and a hate piece against the Boros. And I really liked how Revoker plays against the One Ring decks like that last one, or the Eldrazi decks, and especially in deck that plays 4 Unearth, 4 Sitonia Nightmare. So yeah, that's it. Very happy with the list, very happy with the deck. Let me also know your thoughts down below in the comments. Also down below in the comments, you can in the video description you can find all the links to the Decktionary, to the Moxfield list of this deck and everything else you need. So make sure you check that. And yeah, again, thank you for watching. That's it for today, and goodbye.